Alrighty, yo, what is up, Knights? Just Rick here, back with some more DFO charge, this time on my male striker. Now, those of you guys who have followed me on the stream, you guys know I don't have a very high opinion about any of the male fighter characters. Now, I will say, it's not because I hate the male fighter characters. I mean, it's mostly because the female fighter characters I've always found to be a lot more fun. Now, that being said, okay, I haven't given these guys as much of a chance, and lately I have given this guy a chance. You guys can see I have given him just a random legendary, Harlem legendary set. You see I'm working slightly towards my Harlem epic set as well, so you guys will see I am giving this guy a little bit of attention, and I do think it is warranted because I think I've been having a little bit of fun with this character, and I know it's something that I have always said I like the female fighters better. I've always liked the female striker. Female striker is one of my favorite characters, but I really don't want to sleep on this character, and I don't want to send this guy like down the drain automatically, because I do think this guy there's a lot of things about this guy that make him unique, and that's something I do want to praise, Neopal for. I do think they do a really great job at balancing the differences between the two subclasses. Yes, they do follow the same exact subclasses, and you would think that they would play similar to one another, which they kind of do. I mean, these two characters have the same muscle shift system. They do have the same, a lot of the same kind of mentality, the gameplay mentality and all of that, but they are unique enough from one another. I think the male striker is a great example of that. Okay, the one thing about this character, I'm going to explain his gimmick right now, is that he has a muscle shift system that benefits really heavily off of this move right here, the flash move. You guys can see if I muscle shift cancel my flash move from another attack, I do have basically get a reset of that. If I use it on its own without the muscle shift, however, it goes on cooldown. So what that means is you got to play this character well. You have to actually muscle shift cancel every attack that you do to be able to maintain your muscle shift cancel. If you mess up, then you're going to have it go on cooldown. You're going to lose your flow a little bit. So you can use it pretty much after most all of your skills. There are some skills that you're not going to want to do it on, but you can use it pretty much after any one of your skills. Now, there is a plethora of benefits that come from being able to cancel that properly. You guys can see right there, one of them is to reposition your skills, which I think is the most important one, which is why I want to talk about it first. You can reposition some of your skills. Now, for instance, there are a couple skills that this guy has that will actually whiff at close proximities. The dragon kick and the atomic cannon right here will actually miss if you try to use them too close to an enemy. So you have to reposition your skills, and it's one thing that this guy has to worry about that the female striker really doesn't. Almost all of her skills have the same kind of range and kind of attack proximity, but you guys can see right here, I'm gonna have to do one of those back sway movements to be able to reposition to hit with the dragon kick. It'll actually whiff at point blank ranges, which is, I think it's something cool that he has to worry about. On top of that, obviously you guys can see he has some X movement coverage that he can do. As long as he cancels any one of his skills, he can actually move along the X-axis really quickly, which I think is another really cool benefit. And then most importantly, I think he can actually remove the aftercast delay, just like any kind of muscle shifted skill. Things like close kick, things like the spin kick right here are moves that generally have like a long delay. You guys can see right here, I can't move until he does that back foot backwards, but if I use the flash move, it basically removes the aftercast delay. So it's a great skill to be able to do that. So it serves kind of like multiple purposes of why you want to cancel a skill. You can back sway backwards, you can remove the aftercast delay, and you can kind of see how the flow of this character works whenever you flash move your skills together, this is a skill. I'm not going to say that I'm very good at it yet. I'm still practicing myself. Obviously, I haven't played this guy all that long, but it is a skill. This is really what I think separates the men from the boys when it comes to this character. And I'm about to die here, so let me just hit him with the two-way. It really separates the men from the boys from this character. It's something that I think you really have to get good at to really use this guy at the maximum potential. And it's, yet another gimmick type system. I think it's something you're not going to be able to pick up and play and be really good at. Kind of like Monk, kind of like Elven Knight, honestly. It's a lot like Elven Knight, where if you're not the kind of person who cares about gimmicks, I know there's a lot of people out there, especially with all the opinions I hear about Elven Knight. There's a lot of opinions out there that just want a straightforward character and they don't want to have to deal with all of this nonsense. Well, this guy has a little bit of that nonsense he has to deal with, because all of a sudden, if I try to use this dragon kick, you see right here, it didn't even hit anybody because I wasn't in the right position. It won't hit anybody if it's point blank. you have to reposition. You have to worry about it. And with how this guy's damage works, this guy's a very burst-heavy character. So all of a sudden, you know, that is not an option. You have to get good at using a flash move, because almost all of his other skills are like close range, like most of the female striker skills. All of his skills are close range. You have to get good at repositioning just to be able to hit with a couple of your big skills. And because this guy's such a burst-heavy character that relies so heavily on those big skills, it's not an option anymore. You have to get good at using that. So anyway, kind of repeating myself here, but you guys can see canceling the close kick right there to be able to hit with it. Now, obviously, you don't have to utilize the flash move every time. You can always just muscle shift into anything and use the, you know, if you're trying to look for the damage buffs off of muscle shift, you can kind of like, you know, for instance, low kick into the atomic cannon. You don't have to use the flash move, but it's a perfect move designed for that purpose. It's always going to be available. Just think about it. I mean, think about a female striker and just think that you always have a skill available if you need it to be able to, you know, reposition or whatever. So anyway, hopefully you guys will see me utilize the flash move basically this entire video. But another thing that's very unique to this character is that he is actually an awakening transformation character. You guys can see I go into my first awakening and I have like this flame trail that follows me. Actually does a little bit of damage, so it does break objects. It's kind of like a Diablo where it has that, there's like flame walkers or something that you can just wear and it breaks items on the ground, which are kind of cool. But the most important thing is, I mean, he actually gets a speed and damage buff that makes him comparable to the other characters in the game. So he needs it. It's not a matter of, oh man, this guy's strong as shit. He actually needs it to be on the same level of other characters. So the thing about it is, it's 100% duration, so it's not anything to worry about. Now, if you're worried that this character doesn't have an awakening active, which I guess technically he doesn't. It's not like one of those big flashy skills, but what it is a huge damage buff to one of your big skills, the aforementioned skills that I talked about, the dragon kick as well as the atomic cannon. You can actually change those skills or augment them so that the next time that you cast that skill, it will have a massive damage buff. You guys can see here, if I activate my awakening again, I get this buff right here, which basically enhances the next big skill that I cast to immense levels, so which I'm going to try to do on the boss here. I mean, you're not really going to notice it. It looks exactly the same. It just buffs it up a lot. Boom, get one shot. So the atomic cannon right there, and then that skill goes off of cooldown into the next. So it's not a really flashy awakening active, but it is a way to get your damage off and really buff it up. Now, obviously, since you have a couple choices there, you can choose to either hit with a dragon kick or atomic cannon. You know, one's probably going to be better than the other. I'm not really sure about that. In fact, I'm not really sure about the build period. There you can see my flash move going on cooldown because I didn't cancel a skill beforehand. But you know, I'm going to mention the build a little bit because I know that in higher content, you know, this is kind of the problem with burst-heavy characters in general. When you get into harder content, if your burst is not strong enough to kill enemies, what ends up happening is that you just don't have skills to use in the interim. You just don't have anything that you can use to kind of fill the time to be able to keep deep sync. So at that point, you're just basic attacking, waiting for the cooldowns of skills, which is detrimental, obviously. And they're right there missing with my dragon kick. Detrimental, obviously, because, you know, you're not doing any damage, but, you know, it really is something that is a problem, I think, with this character. I think he does rely pretty heavily on his big burst skills, and then he doesn't have a lot of great skills in the interim. You know, his cooldown is kind of an issue. So, but you know, I have heard or have seen some male strikers in the past that are leveling low-level skills like the flame kick, which is something I've never thought to level. Flame tornado kick. You know, they'll level this skill right here just to have skills in the cooldown, waiting for those cooldowns to come back. So it's an interesting preposition, you know, to say that, you know, you might have to drop one of your big burst skills just so that you can pick up a lower cooldown skill, but, you know, it's potentially what's possible. I mean, I just want the generic level every cube skill to max build, but hey, it might not be completely viable with this character at all content in the game. But that being said, I still think this guy's system is really fun to play with. We're going to jump into some harder content after this, but I think this flash move thing is something that is really cool. Obviously, I'm using it for regular content, but I think it's even cooler against bosses because you can get some even like dope combos. You can basically unleash your whole kit of skills if you wanted to, if you're really good at it, you know, unleash your whole kit. And so you know, you're gonna get some cool combos, a lot of flash moves thrown in there just to get the flow right. But you know, doing stuff like that is kind of cool. I just missed with the, I don't know how I missed with the close kick right there. But that being said, you know, I like the female striker better. I like her moves. I mean, look at the lightning dance. This guy's lightning dance is like water dance or something, earth dance, because look at how slow it is. But you know, I still like a lot of the skills on the female striker. But this guy is more technical than the female striker by a long shot. I mean, on top of the fact that he has various skills that are equally important. I mean, he has a lot of close range skills, and then he has these huge mid-range skills that have to be repositioned to use. That right there is already like something you have to worry about. And he also has all the same exact systems that the female striker has. She has, you know, both the female and male have to use the muscle shift. Both of them have to, you know, spam all of their skills, their whole kit as quickly as possible to get their burst off and make sure that their skills are on cooldown. But this guy has various other things he has to worry about, like the repositioning, like the flash moves. I think he has a lot more aftercast delay on some of his skills. Like even just this spin kick right here, you're going to want to flash move or at least muscle shift into something else because he has a lot of aftercast delay, and I think he can benefit a lot from the flash move if you're really good at it, which I think there are a lot of good male strikers out there. But guys, we're going to go ahead and finish off the video in the Pandemonium Junction with a little bit of Tabor's action. Alrighty guys, now before we go and make our way to Tabor's like I normally do, I'm going to go ahead and jump into donning crevice with this character. You guys might notice my costume and my hairstyle is a little bit different. It's the next day, so I decided to, you know, if I'm going to be playing this character and taking it more seriously and doing harder content, better make him look as suave as I can, and I'm really liking how I got it right now. So, but anyway, donning crevice, this is pretty hard content for the gear level that I'm at right now. I mean, I just only have one piece of the whole set there, or one set of the potential full set of Harlem. So, and then, you know, doing this solo it's not the easiest thing in the world, but again, a lot of things you can do. You know, he does have some nice iframe with the lightning dance. That's something that also the female has as well. Don't have to worry about basically getting hit with hardly anything when you have the lightning dance active. So, but you know, again, getting out of attacks is going to be something that you got to kind of focus on when you're playing, you know, fighting bosses as well. So I'm going to try to show that right here. Hit him with this, hit him with this. I'm going to go ahead and buff up my atomic right here. Boom. Which, you know, it doesn't look, oh gosh, okay, that wasn't canceled, but it doesn't look like it, but and it's hard to do combos and think at the same time. Okay. It doesn't look like it, but the First Awakening active did activate right there, so. And it's a little slow with that. Don't actually have any other skills with my Awakening, so fuck it. You can kind of see the problem with the cooldowns right now. Full force. You know, I did kind of allude to it being a problem with this character. I think the female striker just has a better handle of her cooldowns. You know, it's just she has better skills that come back faster off of cooldown, and I don't think she has a problem of relying so heavily on these mega massive burst skills. It makes you like apprehensive, I think, to cast those skills on their own, because you're like, well, shit, if I miss with this, or if it doesn't kill, I'm gonna have to wait forever till I can get it back. You know, all those things that striker, I don't ever run the risk of, you know, feeling nervous of casting a skill because you know, oh gosh, let me get out of there. Okay. Well, I was gonna go back in there, but I don't have a skill to use, so let's go ahead and wait. Okay. I did miss with the close punch right there. Dude, this is a fight. Okay. Shit. Okay. Traveling along the x-axis, and like I said, you know, people who are actually good with this character are gonna be playing him a lot differently than me. Oh god. You know, they're gonna be doing some crazy flashy combos and stuff like that. I unfortunately can't give you guys that level of play, but I hopefully can showcase a little bit of what makes this character appealing to play, and what you can do with, you know, canceling all your moves when you do it properly. I guess you can kind of take that to the next level. I guess you still got to watch out for shit like that, where you just had no chance in hell to be able to avoid that. So, no chance in hell because I mistimed it. So, you know, You don't get iframe after your awakenings, unfortunately. But, you know, I usually do this for all of my Harlem characters, so this is nothing special. But basically, when they get to this point in gearing, you know, I'm kind of doing this with my Vanguard, as well as my as this character, and they're both getting their Sky Legacy. And I think that's what gives them the massive boost in damage to make me confident to be able to do a lot more content in the game. So, but even yet, you know, when they're doing guide mode and they have at least one Harlem set, I think that makes them, you know, really strong right there. So. Here you can kind of see, making short work. My favorite combo so far has been the close kick, backstep into the dragon kick, which has been working out pretty well. But I just missed with the atomic punch, so I think I'm pretty much screwed from here. Oh, no I'm not. I'm good. Atomic cannon, man, it is such a huge skill that when you miss with it, it's like, well, you might as well just give up there, man. Not gonna kill. Okay. Gonna hit with this. Nope. The thing I learned about Speninos here is that you want to kill all the minions before you hit them with the big burst skill, because for some reason he just doesn't like he does not like getting hit while his summons are up. I think he does get a pretty sizable defense buff when that's the case, so you definitely want to wait until after you take them all out. So I'm gonna go ahead and can't cast this so I can get a good Liu Kang kick in there. Boom. Alright. And I'm feeling fast as shit right now. I'm not really sure why. And we'll see if I can kill. Okay. Oh man, I missed with the lightning dance kick right there. Fortunately, wasn't able to kill the boss before this phase, which is a lot slower than I normally go, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, I think it's a serious problem when you play a character and you're scared to use skills. And I think that's where I'm at with this character, is that I'm not yet comfortable with the cooldowns that this guy has, to the point where I might not want to use skills just because, you know. Oh my god, man. Okay. Man, I keep, like, using atomic cannon at the worst possible time. And, you know, I did make a big point about the flash move. You don't have to use it, like, all the time. Like, you don't, like, obviously I could have used it right there. Or I could have used it after any of those skills. You don't have to use it all the time. It's just, you know, something that, you know, that you definitely want to practice. It's just like the duck and sway systems that they have on the monk, you know. If you want to get better with the character, you'll use it. If not, then it's not a big deal, you know. But you definitely, like I said, you definitely have to still use it for the big boy skills that, you know, I kind of alluded to earlier. Not optional when it comes to those, but, you know, for these other skills, you know, normal chains that the female striker has, you know, you're not going to be losing all that much by not doing them like that. So, oh no! Well, this is going to take another full rotation. I just missed my big boy skills. What happened with the atomic cannon there? Did I miss? Was I not lined up? Holy shit, everything's fucking missing. Yeah, unfortunately, I went a little too far with the ascent move right there. What is this called? Power descent. Alright, we need to get that 150 time. I am noticing even myself that I'm doing like the same couple combos. The cool thing about this character is you really can like really mix it up. You can like obviously interject a whole bunch of flash moves in there if you really wanted to, you know. And if you were really good with this character, you would, but I just wasted a ton of skills right there. Okay, that time I wanted to charge it that time. I don't know if I'm gonna have. Whew. That should not be that close, man. I should just be nuking that guy from orbit. Because I'm wasting all my skills, man. Yeah, so I mean, you can use the flash move for every time, but is it really necessary? Not really. Okay. So yeah, like I was saying, maybe save your... Ugh, come on, you're gonna interrupt the lightning dance? Oh my god. Okay, nice. That was a decent combo. Oh, you know what? I should have saved that because now I don't have anything to use for my First Awakening. Should have it back by now. I think I can still kill here. Whew, okay. Well, not the best rotations I've ever had on this character, but, you know, stuff you can practice with, guys. I think this guy is kind of fun, guys, with the various flash move cancels you can do. I mean, you can really get crazy with this. Hit it after every skill, it doesn't matter, you know, and you have infinite casts of it. It's kind of fun when you do it that way. So the potential is there for the boys that are out there that are like me who are just practicing it. You're gonna have a lot to really dig your teeth into, but for the men out there who are really good at it, I commend you guys, because, you know, I shit talk you guys, I shit talk a male fighter in general, but this character with this one singular move has made this character a lot more fun to me. He's not even close to the female striker level, but I think this one thing really is gonna set him a lot closer, or in my eyes it sets him a lot closer. And if honestly, if they just fixed his cooldown issues and less reliance on the dragon kick and the atomic cannon, I think this guy would be a lot more higher on my list in terms of priorities. But I already think he's gonna be, he's already better than some of the characters I've already geared out, and I'm actually looking forward to gearing him out more. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. There's a little bit of male striker action, and I will kiss you nights later.